I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
Now it is sunny and warm here in the beautiful state of Georgia. 60 degrees. Headed down to Fort Lauderdale. So we're in Woodbine, Georgia right now. Going down 95. Getting ready to cross into Florida. Got the enclosed trailer, as you guys can see behind me. Got 5,000, a little less than 5,000 pounds of freight in the enclosed trailer. Can't really show any of it, but it's can't get wet and can't have like air blowing through it. So I use the enclosed trailer for that. Now I was just thinking about this when before I started making this video. I've had this enclosed trailer for probably 4 years or so, and I think I paid either paid $4,000 or $4,500 bucks for it, and this run is $3,400 from PA to Florida. So how one trip almost pays for itself. So I still haven't booked anything for the trip back. If you guys saw the last video, I was talking about how terrible rates are coming out of Florida, which kind of is what it is. Like they wanted enclosed for 1,100 miles, enclosed and op 1,100 miles. It went 250. They wanted to pay $250 for it. So we're just gonna kind of wait till last minute and see if we can't find something a little farther north, up out of Georgia, South Carolina, or something that makes sense to bring home. But let's get on the road, and here soon we'll be in a t-shirt. We already got shorts on. It's 59 degrees right now, so let's go down to sunny Florida. All right, so you want to hear how shady brokers are? This is a good one. So I found a vehicle that had just popped up on Central Dispatch, paying pretty decent, heading to Delaware from Fort Lauderdale. Figured I'll be in Fort Lauderdale, why not grab it? Called in, he's like, oh, I already dispatched it.
In 1 mile, use the right lane to take exit 362A, I-295, East Bellpoint toward Jack's Beaches.
Thanks. He said, I already dispatched it through Super Dispatch, but when can you pick it up? I said, well, I can pick it up this afternoon. I'll be down there. He goes, well, let me see if that would work better for the customer. So he's
police reported ahead.
He's practically taking it away from one transporter. I'm not going to take the load because I'm not going to do that to somebody else now. But the fact that he was willing to take it away from somebody who already committed to it tomorrow because I could get it today is pretty shady. Look at these oversizes. But that's fun to turn. Man. At least we brought some of the salt with us. We are delivered. I just ran out of fuel. Palm trees. Short sleeves. Shorts. Look at these white legs. I'll tell you one thing, man. These brokers are so shiesty. So I don't know if I'm just going to end up deadheading far north, try to find something, or see what happens. I can't believe that guy really tried to, I'll tell you more about what he tried to do on that load. He said the other transporter canceled. And then he tried to dispatch to me without me saying, yeah, go ahead, and then had it like $150 off of what he had it posted online. And then wanted to whine that it was going to have to come out of his pocket. So, who knows? We're going to sit here and chill, probably get something to eat, and go from there. This is Fort Pierce, Florida. It is a windy mess out here. This place is packed. I got snuck in Sorry if it's windy. I got snuck in by one of these light poles because I had the enclosed I could fit in there. And a guy beside me asked if I was staying all night. I said, yeah, I'll be gone by the time he gets up in the morning. So, picked up a 2012 SRT8 Chrysler 300. Headed to get a built motor. Makes 600 horsepower now. And must have cracked a piston or a piston ring. But I'll catch up with you guys here once it's not as windy.
Guys, what are we doing here? Is everybody going over here now? All right. Okay. What do you want to drink? I want out of the road. We got cars stopped. I'm just trying to get out of the road. Out of the stuff. I think I can see this guy.
It's not out of that guy's pocket.
Hey, what a roll to you. Keep going, keep going. Holy! Pretty good. Let's see what this baby looks like.
Broke the mirror, that's paint damage. Oh, wow.
Shit, this looks great. Oh, no. Now, Jerry needs to park the fence.
Here's another problem why truck fuel lines get so messed up, because people are too impatient to wait to go inside till after they fuel. So that's completely open, but nobody can get in there because this guy ran inside, which causes a backup behind him. I could have already fueled, you know, maybe not a big truck, but I could have already fueled and been pulled up and out of the way, which would have allowed somebody behind me, because probably can't see it, but around that corner, nobody can even get into the truck stop to even park because everybody's blocking the entrance trying to get fuel. All right, so we got this 2012 SRT8 300C stuffed in here. Headed to get a built motor. Guy says it makes around 600 horsepower now, and see what it makes when it's done. So the truck that was parked blocking the fuel line, I'm like, oh, you know, just some company driver, you know, just inconsiderate, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. So I go in the store, I park in a spot, I go in the store, I get a sub, and which was an absolute terrible experience, but that's besides the point. I come back out to see that same truck has now fueled up, has not pulled forward, and the people are back in the store. And when I say people, come to find out, it's two drivers with a trainer. So their trainer is a part of the problem that's having these people go in the store. They're all three going in, and that's the second time they've blocked the pump. Now, it is what it is. I'm not really in a hurry. It's just causing nothing but a catastrophe in this truck stop for everybody. People trying to get in, people trying to get out, because the entrance and the exit is one. which goes up to a stoplight. So it's taken people like, I think they finally got it cleared up, but I mean, by the time I pulled in, fueled, pulled into a parking spot, went inside, came back out, the one truck that was pulling out, trying to sneak out of the parking lot, had just now got to the light to be able to get back on the highway. So people like that don't understand what kind of a cluster it causes for, causes for everybody else. So here's a quick piece of advice for you guys, especially guys that are getting started in any type of hauling. Could be cars, could be freight, could be whatever. Don't take things personal. What happens is, and I'm dealing with the situation right now, so it made me hop on here and explain it. Customers are gonna love you. Do everything right. You know, they're gonna stand there with you sometimes while you're loading their car up. You know, they're gonna walk around, they're gonna be in your ear, they're gonna make sure everything's nice and neat. Because at the end of the day, they may have paid a lot of money for that car. Whether it's a lot of money to you, it could be a lot of money to them, or it could be a lot of money. And you know, it's their personal property, so you have to keep that in mind. Now, what happens sometimes is you start. Things happen on the road, and you got to be honest when something happens on the road. Breakdowns, scheduling conflicts, running behind traffic, a lot of things out of your control, which sucks. And that can quickly turn that person from being your best friend and happy and go lucky to just a terrible customer. But you got to be honest with yourself and honest with them and just be like, hey, listen, this is what's going on. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it there by that time. And a lot of these things, unless they're paying you for, you know, a direct, dedicated, gotta be there, expedited price, then things happen, and you can't stress it. You just gotta let it go. Gotta be honest with the person and be like, hey, I don't think this is gonna happen. You know, but I can definitely have it there by tomorrow morning. Or something like that. And a lot of times, and this is a tip for you, a lot of the times if you end up just calling them, and a lot of people are going to be more aggressive and you know, talk which you may take as like a condescending tone through text message. Get them on the phone, explain the situation. Things happen, you have to come up with a solution and, you know, go from there. So I diffused that situation, which was good. I'd say customer's happy. I don't know if he's happy, but he's content and is understanding, you know, things happen. So, unrealistic timeline, expectations. And some of that had to be explained, which is great. And now he understands and, you know, we'll get paid tomorrow. Car will be delivered tomorrow. But I wanted to touch on something quick before we end this one. Looked at a commercial property. This is the first commercial property I've looked at. It came up on Facebook, I think, is where I originally saw it. Someone sent it to me on Facebook, and didn't have a price. Had kind of a you know, commercial property for rent if you're looking to run your business or something other. So, and it said like large parking lot, indoor space. It had a square foot, I don't remember what the square footage was, but it had like indoor space, bottom garage, this and that. And I'm like, okay, you know, potential, at least for, you know, a little while. So I went and looked at it, because mainly it would be like something I can park the trucks at, and if I have company drivers, it'd give them a place to park the truck, somewhere they can come out of 24/7, somewhere where they could go in and, you know, change the oil in the truck if they're an owner-operator, things like that, where if you were with the company, you would have access 24/7, you know, to a heated or cooled shop where you could do your maintenance. which is kind of like one of my goals. Also some place that I could, you know, set up maybe like a little bunkhouse, like if a guy's coming off the road, give him a place he doesn't have to sleep in his truck, would have a bed, shower, bathroom, things like that. So anyways, went and looked at it, and location was great in comparison to where I live, and access to major highway. It's right off Interstate 70. What else? Price was, I think, undervalued, to be honest with you, in rent per month. For what you got, I think it was undervalued, and you'll know why here in a minute. Very secluded, off a main road, but back a side street. Like, you'd have to be looking for this place, which is good. You know, if somebody sets tires down, like trailer tires, spare wheels and stuff, and doesn't have them in the shop or in the garage, that they wouldn't get stolen or anything like that. But, and this is why the rent, or like the rent would be, I think, undervalued, is there's actually a bigger building there, and there's renters for living space, and didn't show that in the pictures. And I asked the lady, I said, like, how are the renters? Have you had any issues? And she says, no, they've always been great. She's been doing it for a few years with these same group of people. Some have come and gone, but not like forced out. And I think it's because the places are a little nicer and probably a little more expensive, so it keeps some of the riffraff out of there. But that kind of discouraged me, just because of the concept of being available 24/7. I just don't want to move a bunch of stuff in there. A driver comes in at midnight, is beating on brake drum or something, and then that just causes a problem. So it's the first one I looked at. It was the first step, and I'm happy I went and looked at it to see in comparison as what I was getting for the price. And the hunt continues. You know, we'll just we don't desperately need anything, but you know, something would be nice here within the next 6 months or so. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you on the next one.